Hello, hello, hello. I am doing a couple of extra matches with this sweet deck because there was some minor Magic Online gremlins happening in the remaining league matches I did with this deck. So I thought I'd replace the sort of non-games with a couple of two-mans. Because why not, I guess. We are against goblins. They mulliganed to 5. And our hand certainly wasn't great, but it seemed keepable enough since I had like a couple of ways to dig for stuff. I don't think I'm turboing out this stuff with Peat Bog this game, so and we need some red mana, so we'll leave there. So from the league, I added a couple of things. Not a whole lot of difference. I added an extra swamp since I kept desperately wanting to drop basic swamp, and I added a Gurmag Angler, which is generally pretty sweet. And the Mud Brawler cohort here tells me that they're on this like red deck wins version of goblins rather than goblins, which is more goblin war marshals and goblin sledders rather than tutus. I think now I'm going to be playing this Peat Bog since we might be throwing out some Stinkweed Imps. Since they mulliganed, we might actually be able to just grind them out with Stinkweed Imps. You know, assuming our main plan doesn't come to fruition. But at least we get to, you know, gain a couple of life by chump blocking and that sort of thing here. Well, there's the Gurmag Angler I added, so never mind. That's not going to come into play this game. So at least we do have a Crusher in the graveyard, so now all we need to do is draw an Exhume, which would be decent. So there's a fair chance that even if we cast Tormenting Voice this turn, we can't actually play it because we don't have another land that's untapped. So I think I'm going to play Stinkweed Imps this turn, play Bloodfell Caves, and then Tormenting Voice next turn to hope to dig to an Exhume. Let's see. So the ones we want to kill, we want to leave alive the most are these ones because sometimes they just can't attack. This one also isn't great for them because it forces itself to suicide into my creatures. And I think this is probably the best one since it gives them the most options. But actually no, because I think maybe this one is the best since it's unlikely to ever be by itself. It's all very marginal, I will say. And we are getting beaten up quite a lot here. I'm not actually sure we can win this game. They obviously hit 2 lands, which is the number that they need, and have not drawn more. So that's when that happens. This deck is obviously very potent. So I guess I'm gonna try and go for gold, I guess, and try and draw an Exhume rather than draw Stinkweed Imp out of this graveyard. I mean, I can still very easily lose the game even if I do get the Exhume. Uh-huh. Well, that's not super. I'm dead. Alright. So, like, their deck will probably have some Fire Blast or something in it, but, like, dresses aren't really what we want. Martyr of Ashes are definitely good, though. It's arguable that we want, like, a Chainage Edict, especially since we're on play. Like, if we just edict them on turn 1, sometimes they'll just, on turn 2 rather, to kill their turn 1 play, sometimes they'll just do nothing. But I want to keep my red card count high for Martyr of Ashes, so it would have to be like removing a Shred Memory, which is plausible, it's a bit slow. Alright, here we go. I will keep. So we're on the draw exhume plan again. And I'm definitely going to lead with Neonate. The potential for being able to play a turn 2 exhume, like, is this too sweet to pass up rather than playing this like Bloodfell Caves? Well, let's see. We didn't draw it. Gotta go for it though. Well, that's not great. This is obviously the problem with this deck, that sometimes you just don't draw your exhume. Even like a Shred Memory would be like really slow here. But I think if we get it in like the next turn or so, like we obviously could have drawn like, oh, well, there we go. I'll go ahead and do that. Well then, hopefully we don't get threatened, I guess. That would be pretty sick. Is that happening? Inner Flame Acolyte, that's alright, I guess. Let's say we can still die. I mean, we're obviously going to block this, and then we're going to take 4, then we're going to annihilate them, and if this is a game where they actually just drew a bunch of lands to, you know, throw into the maw of the Crusher, we can definitely still lose. Especially since we haven't really drawn all that well this game. We really needed like a Faithless Looting in our hand becomes probably quite good. Unfortunately, we're on the do nothing at all plan. I think we can actually afford to return this Bloodfell Caves. Get that extra life. Yeah, okay. Let's see, like if they drew 4 lands last game, they probably wouldn't have been able to attack for several turns. But this time they have drawn the correct number of lands. And we have drawn the, like we've made a Crusher, but it's not being good enough when we also draw this many lands. I assume there's going to be a lightning bolt to kill us. Or at least like something that can block. Yep, alright. Can't complain too much.